it if you read it.
Okay. Mahabandha, great lock. Press the heel of the left foot in the perineum vagina and place the right foot on the left thigh. Thus breathing in, bring the chin to the chest, Jalahara Bandha. Contract the perineal cervix region, Mula Bandha, and concentrate on the eyebrow center, Shambhavi Mudra. Having retained the breath as long as comfortable, exhale slowly. Once completing the practice on the left side, practice again on the right side. Some of the opinion is that some are of the opinion that the throat lock, Jalahara Bandha, is unnecessary and it is sufficient to keep the tongue against the front teeth. Mahabandha is the great lock. According to these slokas, the Gurana Samhita and the Hatha Ratnavali, it consists of internal breath retention or Antar Kumbhaka, Jalahara, Mula Bandha, and Shambhavi Mudra. So that one is saying that there, under that tradition, Mahabandha is consisting of the internal breath, the throat lock, the root lock, and the eyebrow center gaze.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about yesterday, right?
Yeah. However, Mahabandha is also done with external breath retention, Jalahara, Uddiyana Bandha, and Mula Bandhas, which is later referred to in slokas 74 through 76. Today, Mahabandha is generally practiced with external breath retention, and the three bandhas. Shambhavi Mudra is optional. According to the Gurana Samhita, when Uddiyana Bandha is employed, then the practice becomes Mahaveda Mudra. But the Hatha Yoga Pradipika says Mahaveda is an entirely different practice. Again, we have to remember that any discrepancy in the practice of mudra and bandha is due to the fact that the techniques were extracted from Tantra, in which there is no distinction between mudra and bandha. All right, so for me, that clears up a little bit of what I was confused about yesterday.
Yep.
Let me share this.
I was trying to do it when I was demoing in class last night, Pam, in that posture, like the book said.
Your class last night, Amanda, oh my God, it was so good.
Oh, good. Yeah, I tried to make it like really calm everybody down.
I mean, like from start to finish, that class was amazing. I mean, it just was like Amanda had breath, meditation, asana, massage at the end, just taking in that. And I love that at the end. That was so good.
That was totally from this book. I was like, yeah, we might as well try it. Everybody's messed up.
It was, I felt so good after that class.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I felt pretty chill after too, practicing with you guys. But like, it's easier to do this in this pose than in the other pose.
Oh, I see what you're saying. When the leg is extended, like in half.
That was difficult to get the block up there.
Yeah.
And like tuck your chin, and you have to be really flexible in the other posture to be able to do it. This is like, you don't have to be so flexible. And then the heel in the mula makes it easier too.
So I'm assuming if you do this and you can't quite get the top leg up as high as in the picture, it's still okay, especially since the heel is still in the Mula Bandha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know how true this is because I get pretty flexible with things, but I would even argue if you can't even bend your knees, some people can't bend their knees like that because of knee pain. Like if you wanted to practice sitting on your couch playing with the locks, you could still play with It might not give you the most extreme benefits that they're talking about, but some people's bodies just don't allow them to sit like that. So technique 1, Hatha Yoga technique. Sit in half Padmasana, which is half lotus, with the left heel pressing the perineum vagina and the right foot on top of the left thigh. Prepare yourself for any meditation practice. Breathe in slowly through the left nostril and perform Antar Kumbhaka, internal breath retention, then Jalahara, throat lock, and Mula Bandha, root lock, and Shambhavi Mudra, eyebrow gaze. The eyes may be kept closed throughout the practice with concentration on Brumadaya during retention. I don't remember what Brumadaya is. Kramer. Oh, this one says it's the same eyebrow center. Internal gaze in the third eye center. Hold Kumbhaka, the bandhas and Shambhavi for as long as comfortable. Before exhaling, release Shambhavi Mudra, then Mula Bandha, and lastly Jalahara. When the head is upright and the shoulders are relaxed, exhale slowly through the right nostril. Then breathe in slowly through the right nostril and practice as described above. When exhaling, breathe through the left nostril. This is 1 round. Before starting the next round, breathe normally for a minute or 2 and concentrate on the natural breath. Practice 3 rounds initially, increase up to 5. Technique 2. Mula Bandha is most commonly practiced as follows. Preferably sit in Siddhasana Siddhi-Yona Asana for this posture. As this posture applies pressure to Muladhara, or you can assume Padmasana or half Padmasana. Keep the hands on the knees, spine erect, head straight, and eyes closed. Relax the whole body. Breathe in slowly and deeply through the nose. Exhale forcefully and fully through the pursed lips. Retain the breath outside. Perform Jalahara, Uddiyana, and Mula Bandhas. Keep the breath outside for as long as possible and rotate your awareness from Mula to Manipura to Vishuddhi, mentally repeating the names of these chakras as you concentrate on each. When you can no longer retain the breath, release Mula, Uddiyana, and lastly Jalahara, and exhale slowly in a controlled manner. Keep the eyes closed, make sure the body is completely relaxed, and breathe naturally, concentrating on the spontaneous breath.
First.
Then practice again, following exactly the same process.
Like a fried egg.
Perform 3 rounds in the beginning. After many months, when you are proficient, increase 1 round every 2nd, 3rd, or 4th day until you are practicing 9 rounds. Continual practice over the years will result in spontaneous cessation of the breath, even after Kumbhaka is released. You may take 1 or 2 normal breaths, and then the breathing will stop automatically. Let this happen and just watch how long it lasts. Mahabandha can be practiced between each round of Bhastrika pranayama. In fact, it is better to practice it in conjunction with Bhastrika because Kumbhaka can then be held easily for a longer time. So Bhastrika is that breath of fire, but when we do the bellows breath, usually when we exhale, Amanda has us take an inhale and apply these locks, holding the breath in. So that's similar to what they're saying here with Bhastrika breath. Before attempting Mahabandha, you will need to be proficient in the practice of the 3 individual bandhas. People suffering from high or low blood pressure, hernia, stomach, or intestinal ulcer, or those recovering from any visceral ailment will have to correct their condition before attempting Mahabandha. In fact, good health is necessary for this practice. Verse 23 and 24. This stops the upward movement of energy in the nadis. Verily, this Maha Bandha is the bestower of great cities. Maha Bandha frees one from the bonds of death, makes the three nadis unite in Ajna chakra, and enables the mind to reach the sacred seat of Shiva Kadera. In Mahabandha, Shakti is locked within the torso. It cannot leak out through any channel, and it recirculates upwards. When the hands are also in Chin or Gyan Mudra, prana cannot leave the body through the hands. It flows back up the arms to the heart. Mula Bandha forces the prana upwards and prevents it from escaping through the lower outlets, and Jalahara prevents an upward leakage. When Uddiyana Bandha is added, prana and apana are forced toward each other to eventually meet in the navel center. When the two opposite poles of energy unite in the navel center, they are forced upward to ajna. This affects the hormonal secretions of the pineal gland and regulates the entire endocrinal system. The decaying, degenerating, and aging processes are then checked, and every cell of the body is rejuvenated. From a psychological point of view, when Ida and Pingala merge with Sushumna in Ajna, the limited external and internal awareness is transcended, and the attitude of the witness, Sakshi, automatically develops. More than this, though, Yogi Swatmarama says that the mind attains the seat of Shiva. Shiva is pure consciousness and represents the highest conscious capacity of man. It is another way of saying that the individual soul, or jivitma, returns to Paramatma, or that one attains cosmic consciousness. Verse 25. Just as an extremely beautiful woman is nothing without a husband, so Mahamudra and Mahabandha are unfruitful without Mahaveda Mudra. Mahabandha is a complete practice which can awaken the entire pranic capacity in the main chakras, but it should be followed by another systematic practice, Mahaveda Mudra. The purpose of Mahaveda Mudra is to channel the prana accumulated through Mahamudra and Mahabandha. When you perform these practices without Mahaveda Mudra, it is like having a car full of petrol, turning the ignition on, but keeping the foot on the brake. To get the car moving, you must slowly release the brake and steer it in a calculated manner. Similarly, when Kundalini Shakti has been awakened through Mahamudra and Mahabandha, it must be released and directed by the practice of Mahaveda Mudra. Yoga Swatmarama compares the necessity and interrelationship of these practices to a woman without a husband. A woman who is husbandless is unproductive, and her beauty is not fully appreciated either by herself or her husband. Or if she uses her beauty for the pleasure of many men, her charm and prana will quickly diminish. The same applies to Mahabandha and Mahamudra. Mahaveda channels the Shakti created by these two. If many other practices are performed, the energy may go back into Ida or Pingala and may even go down to Muladhara again. Therefore, you must know the correct sequence for gaining the most from these practices. I'm going to pause there.
When they say the correct sequences for these practices, what constitutes these practices? Everything that's appeared before in this book?
I thought she was talking about doing Maha Mudra, then Mahabandha, and then Mahaveda Bandha Mudra.
Okay, so she's, yeah, the same applies to Mahabandha and Mahamudra. Okay.
I'm curious about something. Do you ever get into the positions during this morning reading, just to follow up to the book?
We haven't. You mean like trying these ones?
Yeah, just because,
We haven't because some of these positions, well, not just in what we've been talking about recently, but like you saw the peacock pose we were talking about yesterday, like that's not one you can just get into. Like sometimes, yeah, there's like you have to warm up and stuff. And like there's been other times where we've said, do we want to practice some of this breath? But sometimes it says like you should do it on an empty stomach, and maybe I've eaten already that morning, like so there's different reasons why we haven't just jumped right into it. But yeah, I think for the blocks, I don't see a reason why you can't just practice them.
that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm not 100% sure on the whole
No,
lot.
the locks are advanced. You want to wait until you do alternate nostril and breath of fire and all that for a couple months,
Okay.
and then you do the locks.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess I didn't mean like practice holding the locks. I meant just practice playing where they are in the body.
Yeah.
That's all I meant.
Yeah, and then the position she's saying today, like you could definitely sit in that position. That one you could do. No, I wasn't contradicting you, Pam. I'm sorry if it sounded that way. I just wanted to.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify what I meant too. I didn't mean to like practice what she's saying like to the full extent,
Right.
but that's why we haven't practiced, because like who knows where everyone is in their practice.
I got what you were saying. That's exactly what I needed help with. I'm having a hard time visualizing or understanding. It's the first time I'm hearing about these locks, and I wasn't sure, are you really like locking, or are you just concentrating there with your mind?
You're locking it. So like a Kegel,
Mm-hmm.
Kegel. It's like a Kegel with your anus and your vagina at the same time pulling up as the root. And then the belly, you suck it back and then in and up towards the lungs. So there's like a cavity that forms.
Mm-hmm.
The throat, you tuck the chin, lift the ears, and swallow, and it completely closes off the throat.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third eye, with the eyes closed, you turn it up to the third eye center. Does that make sense?
It does, but I'm assuming you're not breathing when that's happening.
No, you do. So you inhale all the way. You always start with your attention on the inhales. And then eventually, when you get good at that, you've attained enough prana that you could do it on the exhale safely. But we don't teach it on the exhales generally until people have been practicing a really long time. Because otherwise, you're literally suffocating yourself. So otherwise, you inhale and hold the breath like that and do the retention.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And so Alexandra, when we've been practicing alternate nostril breathing, and Amanda, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes like we have, as if I'm teaching it, I'll say if you have the retention in your practice, you can practice it, but I'm not teaching it. And so when you become more advanced and you have a teacher guiding you through the retention of the alternate nostril, every time you hold the breath in, you're applying the locks and then you're releasing the locks. And she went over that in the earlier part of the book. Sue, do you remember that when we talked about alternate nostril breathing, she talked about the locks. Now she's just going into the locks in a lot more detail.
Yeah, and in fact, you and Amanda clarified
That's
locks in relationship to the breathing, and that was very helpful.
That was last Thursday. I don't think you were in there for that, Alexandra.
Yeah, I missed last week.
But there'll be there's a recording, right? So we'll post it on the YouTube page and you can watch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to let you, like, it's not just, this isn't just the only practice. It can be it's tied into other areas of yoga practice. Like I've had teachers when I first started practicing that I learned the locks from. But then it was a more advanced class, and we were students that showed up every week, and I guess she became comfortable at teaching us the locks. But it's hard to just like pinpoint it to the student. Like it's something I had to play with on my own to really figure out what, and I'm probably still not doing it. Like my throat lock, all I do is bring my chin down to my chest. You know, I don't think I'm doing it the way Amanda's describing it. So I'm probably still not doing it the complete right way.
Kim, can I ask you a question? Well, are you finished with your thought? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The other thing with the Uddiyana Bandha lock, the belly lock, when I was playing with that, like while I was practicing, sometimes I notice I'm holding my stomach in like the whole time, like a teenage girl taking pictures, you know, like walking around, you know, like trying to be as skinny as I could. But I was harming myself because when you're holding the lock in like that, you're not breathing fully. And so I was getting myself more tense than I should be. So you just have to be mindful on when you're playing with the locks, how you're breathing and what your intention is, I guess. Sorry. Okay, Amanda.
I missed the portion Isabel was talking. She was saying, you're sitting and you say something with the chakras. What was she saying to do with the chakras?
She was just saying you start with the Muladhara, then go up to the Shari, and then Ajna, and you just keep repeating.
You just repeat the names of the chakras?
Well, it was weird. She said she started with Muladhara, which isn't really the name of a chakra, right?
Well, that's the root.
Yeah, but let me see what she said. Because then she said,
Where was that?
That was in the shloka before.
All right.
here it is. It's on page 300.
Oh.
Keep the breath outside for as long as possible and rotate your awareness from Muladhara to Manipura to Vishuddhi. Oh, I thought she went up to Ajna. Mentally repeating the names of these chakras as you concentrate on each.
Oh, okay. So that's, you lock and then you do the chakras. Okay. I'll try that today.
So you say the names of the chakras or you make the sounds of the chakras?
I think she was saying we say the names, right?
Names. Okay.
Yes, he just says the names.
Okay, well, I would have to consult this dictionary all the time. I think I'll save that for later.
Well, I mean, the Bija mantras would be just as effective, no?
Yeah.
A little easier to remember.
So yeah, she's just telling you to. I guess that's where is Muladhara is the root lock, but is that how it's ever referred to the root chakra, or
Muladhara?
Isn't it two, but it's two chakras, right?
what is the root?
Muladhara.
You got Muladhara and then Swadhisthana is above it.
Oh, Muladhara. Why do I think that's just the name of the lock and not the chakra? I guess I'm just confused. And then you have the Manipura, which is the Uddiyana Bandha lock, the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And Vishuddhi is our throat lock, which is Jalahara.
Right.
So I guess I was just.
The root lock is Mulabandha.
Oh,
Not Muladhara.
not Muladhara. All right.
Listen, I was like lecturing on Sunday and I could not remember the name of the throw lock. I was like saying the wrong thing. It happens.
I'm reading it as I see the word, but I'm reading it in my mind as Mulabandha, but it's Muladhara, and that's why now I got it. That's why you guys are like, what are you talking about? Well, we should move into breath and meditation. It's already 8:07. I have an 8:30 work Zoom.
Okay.
But I don't have to end. I'll just keep it going. I just have to listen to it. I'm just curious to see what they're saying about JP Morgan. All right, so let's set up for alternate nostril breathing. Taking a few breaths through the nostrils. I'm gonna mute everybody. And then taking your right hand over to your face, closing right nostril with your right thumb. Inhale through your left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Taking a few more rounds on your own breath. Finishing up the round you're on. Exhale. We can take a few rounds of bumblebee breath. Closing your ears with your thumbs. Your next two fingers, your pointer and your middle finger, closing your eyes. You'll take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you'll hum at the back of your throat, making vibrations in the body. You can take 3 to 5 rounds and then move into your meditation. I'm going to set the timer. If you're not already there, you'll join us when you're ready. Bringing your hands to your heart. Namaste.
Thank you, Pam. See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Have a good day.
Namaste. Bye, guys.
Day.